So you can join in or just listen. So this song is an Om Shanti song. So when I sing Om Shanti, Om is allegedly the sound, the initial vibration that started the creation of the universe. So Om Shanti is a way of wishing peace, wishing Shanti to all living beings. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Good morning. Namaskar. So we'll start the class shortly. For this class, you might need a strap or a belt or something, because we're going to be doing a lot of strap work. Sometimes big wash rags or hand towels work as well. So this morning I wanted to tell a little story about the importance of service, of finding ways to step out of our comfort level, our little box, and to help relieve the suffering of others, or to say something that will hopefully give a feeling of connection to someone else, or to do any kind of service, and finding ways that we can give a little bit, even in a small way, to people we encounter in our daily lives. And there are so many teachers and so many leaders of our world society that say that if you want happiness, the best way is to help others and to do good things for other people. And I think I sent out a notice today that forgiveness is when you show love to someone for no reason at all. So, how to do that, how to embrace that essence of giving. And so, as some of you know, I am a great fan of the Animal Sanctuary in Colorado, which is the largest carnivore sanctuary in the world. And we don't even have tigers walking through our cities. So it's a tribute to the sanctuary here, and how they have developed, I think, 2 other side sanctuaries in addition to the one outside of Denver. And so my husband and I were there last night in the lion house that was built by Bob Barker years ago. And it used to house the Bolivian lions that were rescued, I think, from a circus in Bolivia. And since then, they have done so many animal rescues. And one of the lions that was there last night, they rescued from a box on top of a hotel or restaurant where another lion, poor lion, lived. And so they dedicated their lives to rescuing mostly lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my! But many other animals as well. And it was interesting because this dinner we went to was in their lion house on the ground floor. And so you could really make eye contact with the lions there, and their behaviors, and what it's like to be with lions in the lion house, and hearing the stories of where these poor souls had come from, and to see how wonderful their life is now. And so we all want to embrace something that we're passionate about, and kind of go out on the on the line for it. And everyone needs some passion that they're following through on to give to and to support other beings who are suffering in some way. So I wanted to put that out on the table today, because it's one of the, in yoga there are many practices, and sometimes practice in yoga can be just a way of thinking. It can be an attitude, it can be a feeling. And so that practice of serving others, of making a difference in the world, and of alleviating the suffering of others is a major, major practice in the yoga community. So I wanted to give it the spotlight today. So then we'll come into a standing position. And I'll even turn my sound on while you're doing that. So we're going to come into a standing position with our feet hip width apart. Inhaling those hands to the heart and closing the eyes for a minute and thinking of how you hope to serve others this day. And sometimes that's not thinking of a particular act that you're going to do, but just being open to that possibility because it will present itself today. Coming into that heart space. Being that vehicle for good. Making others smile. So this week we've seen the return of many birds. And so we'll start off with the swallows. So we'll take both arms to one side and exhale those arms down. These are the swallows coming down to the pond, tapping the water and exhaling the arms up. Exhaling down. Oops, I think I misspoke. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. So going down slowly, tapping the water. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Tapping, inhaling up. Exhaling down. Tapping, inhaling up, and then we'll go through one more time. Exhaling, swallows down, inhaling up, and as we inhale them up, this time we'll bring the arms in front and to the heart. Inhaling those wings up, over, crossing the hands over the head. Exhaling, coming all the way down, nice flat back, nice long neck, massaging the ground. So you can bend the knees to do that. Inhaling back up, crossing the hands, exhaling back down. Giving Mother Earth a nice rub. God bless her, inhaling back up, crossing those hands, exhaling and coming back down. And this time as we come up, we're going to come up with our left arm. So we'll send the other arm down and we're going to cross the body with this arm. Inhaling it up. Twisting in the hips as we turn to the side and exhaling that arm down. Circling it around, kind of moving it in slow motion, crossing the body, inhaling up, exhaling down. Coming around to the front, inhaling that arm up, and then we're twisting the torso to the side, exhaling down. And we'll come around to the front and do this one more time. And taking that arm down, that posterior plane. And then we'll bring the other arm up, crossing the arm in front. And then we're going to turn in the other direction, exhaling that arm down. Inhaling up as it crosses the body. And then here we go, we swing around and exhale that arm down. Swimming to the front of the room again. Sweeping the hips to the side. exhaling down, and then we'll do this one more time. Swimming that arm up, twisting to the side, exhaling it down. So as we come front and center, this time we'll bring both arms up, sweeping around behind. Sometimes it's a little tricky the first time or two, because this is just an arm movement we don't do so often. Bringing those arms up and around, and we'll do that one more time. And then bringing those arms up into it over the head. We're going to twist to the side, doesn't matter which side. And then lower those arms, exhaling all the way down to the floor. As we twist to the side, so we're twisting all those joints in the legs and in the arms and shoulders, and then inhaling to the front of the room. And we'll do the same to the other side, twisting to the side, wings are up, and then we'll start exhaling those wings down, down, down to the ground, and then bringing them back up again, inhaling, coming to the center. So we'll do this one more time on each side, exhaling to the side with the wings up, and exhaling those wings down. Down until the fingertips are pointing to the earth, and then bringing them back up. And scooching over to the center, and then we're going to turn towards the other side. And exhaling those wings down. Inhaling those wings up. And coming to the center. So once we reach the center, we're going to bring the feet, I've got my socks on. Let me take them off because I'm going to slide if I keep them on. So the feet are wider than the mat on this next one. So my feet are wider than my mat, or you can turn sideways on your mat. And we're going to do some lunging from side to side, bending one knee while we're making the other knee straight. And while we're doing this, we're going to do skating again. So we haven't been skating for a while. So skating is bringing one arm over and going from side to side. So it's usually the opposite arm to the opposite leg. We can bend the elbows or straighten the arm, whatever you prefer. So we're doing one breath to each side. So we might inhale in one direction and exhale in the other. And then we're going to reach that arm. Going from side to side. And then we're going to have the arms together. Going from side to side. So we're going to swing them from side to side. So they might go above the shoulder. I did not see lions doing this last night. Just finding a nice rhythm. And then we're going to swing them all the way around, make a circle. Going all the way around. And then we'll change directions and go the other way. And then we'll bring the hands to the thighs. Bring the feet in, the toes, the heels, toes, the heels. Coming into a standing mountain pose. Bringing the hands to the heart. And closing the eyes. Regulating the breath. Resyncing the breath. Maybe you're listening to your heartbeat. Breathing in, breathing out. Letting the breath slow itself down. And returning to a more normal, more natural breath pattern. Breathing in with the crows. Breathing out like the crows. And we'll inhale those wings up. Crossing the hands and exhaling slowly down. And just staying here for a moment. So if you have a strap nearby, maybe you can reach for your strap or walk over to the strap or whatever your strap substitute will be today. And bringing it out, don't worry if it's too short or long, you can always change it. Starting with our strap in front and below the waist. And inhaling that strap up over the head. And then exhaling down. Inhaling back up over the head. And we're trying to go a little bit past the head. So you can feel those shoulder blades in the back. And then come down in front. So we'll do this one more time. Inhaling up. Going a little bit past the head. And exhaling down. And then we'll bring the strap over, so our arms are over our head. We're bringing it to the side. Bringing the strap over the head. Oh, mine is invisible now. Exhaling to the other side. Inhaling over the head. Exhaling to the side. So we'll do this a couple times. Inhaling over the head. Exhaling to the side. And you can try to get it a little bit in the posterior plane. Inhaling up and exhaling a little bit over into the back. Then we're going to bring it over the head and down in front. And this time, and you might need a wider strap, so you might need to lengthen it because we're going to go all the way over. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. So hopefully the more you practice this, the better it gets. So you might be using a really long length right now. Coming down below the waist in the front and below the waist behind. Inhaling over the head and down, exhaling and down. And then we might shorten our our strap just a scooch, and we're going to come over to one side again. And then over to the other side. And then we're going to come kind of horizontal in front. And then we're going to take one side up and behind and side to side. Coming over and horizontal in front. And then lifting one hand up, going from side to side behind the head. And we're going to be helicopters today. I saw a double helicopter yesterday. Leaning over, flying horizontal, going from side to side. We're just bending over a little bit right now. And now we're going to go down more. So come down towards the ground and up. Sinking down towards the ground, sliding around. And then on the next one, as we're down, right here, we're going to change directions. So the trick is not to think about it too much. Rising up, lifting up, diving down. And this time as we dive down, we're just going to make it halfway. Just halfway down, just a little will do. And then coming and just doing it at the upper shoulder level. And coming to center. So we'll unwind our wrist. Although, let me look at the next pose. Oh, we're going to do chair first. So we can put this down for now, because we're going to come over to a wall near and dear to you. So my wall is right behind me. And we're going to come down into chair. So having the whole backside from the hips up to the shoulders, into the wall, with the feet hip width apart again. And then we're going to walk the feet ahead, maybe 2 or 3 steps, not too far. And then as we do this, we're trying to press the back towards the wall. So trying to press, and of course the small of the back will not go all the way back into the wall. And then bringing the hands out like you're a chair. Holding this and breathing in. Baba Nam O K Wa Lam. So we might do that a few more times. Baba Nam O K Wa Lam. Love is all there is. So your head's a little bit away from the wall to be an extension of that neck. And one more time. Baba Nam O K Wa Lam. So then we're going to bring our hands to the knees and walk the feet back. Maybe shake out the legs as we walk in a circle. We're going to go into chair again. So if you want to do chair for therapeutic purposes, to build up the muscles in your hips or legs, And this also has, it does some help with the back. You would want to do it, maybe 4 times a day. So we're coming back into our back position, sliding down just a scooch, bringing the arms in front. And here we go again. So we're bringing in those bandhas, pulling in the abdominals, pulling in the throat, but the head is not touching the wall. Inhaling the arms up. Baba Namo. Kevalam-o. And you can sink down a little bit if you want more expression in the hips or knees. Baba Namo. Kevalam. And finally, love is all there is. So bringing the hands back in, leaning forward and coming up. And once again, I'll shake those feet out a little bit. Shake the legs out. And we'll come into it one more time. We're just going to do 3 times today. Line those feet up at hip width again. And walk out a couple of steps. Placing your whole back into the wall. Bringing the arms up. Taking a deep breath in. Baba Nam-o. Kevalam-o. Baba Nam-o. Kevalam-o. Love is all there is. Lowering those hands down. And this time, bringing those hands to the heart, opposite elbow towards the opposite knee. So we're twisting to the side. Breathing once or twice. Coming up to the center. And then we're going to do it on the other side. So the elbow does not touch the knee. That's craziness. Breathing twice. Coming up to center. Hands to knees, leaning forward and coming up. So we're going to shake those legs out. So then we're going to reach down and grab our straps. So we're doing a pose that we've done before, but I don't think we've done it with the straps. So let me show you what we're going to do. We're going to do a standing pose. It's Karmasana. And usually on this pose, I have us swimming our arms around and interlacing the hands. And this opens up the heart, opens up the chest, opens up the shoulders nicely, which we sometimes, I know I do, have problems keeping those shoulders back. So today we're going to try this with the strap. So you can either interlace the fingers or put a strap behind you. And so I have it wrapped around each hand and in the back. And so you can see, the wrists can be either right next to each other or you can have a little length in between the hands. So once you find your ideal hand position on the strap, we'll grow our mountains upwards towards that sun once again. Pulling up that pelvic floor, pulling in those abdominals. And it can be just a scooch and pulling that neck back into the throat. So sometimes we have forward chin. We're going to take a deep breath in. And then we're going to come to the left. So I should be able to see, if you can see yourselves in your own camera, you should be able to see one of your hands coming out. So keeping those shoulders back, breathing in Breathing out. Inhaling and coming up. And then once again, exhaling and diving to the side. So you can practice pressing that opposite foot from the direction in which you're holding more deeply into the ground. Little extra stretch there. Inhaling into the center, still growing upwards. And then we're going to exhale and fold over. So leading with the heart, bringing the heart towards the legs. And you can bring the arms up behind. Listening to your shoulders as to how far up is user-friendly for you. And the chest might be resting on your thighs. Inhaling, slowly coming up. Slowly, slowly. Exhaling. Inhaling into a gentle back bend. So you can feel your hands slide down the back. As we bring our head so we can look forward at the sky. Inhaling upwards. So I'm going to let go of one side of my strap as I bring my arms forward. I'm going to whirl my arms around and come down to the ground. So if you have sensitive knees here, you can fold your mat underneath your knees. Come, mat. And then we're going to bring this strap into the hands once again. So you can do this position, this part of the pose. This is the second part to the pose. Bringing the knees hip width apart once again. And you can bring your arms open, shining your hearts, growing upward. So we're pulling in the pelvic floor again, the abdominals, and the neck into the throat. Taking a deep breath in, exhaling to the side. And we can look down at the earth here, giving a little twist to the neck. Inhaling straight up. And then exhaling and diving to the other side slowly. You can look at the earth or straight ahead. Holding those shoulders open, shining the heart. Inhaling and coming straight up. So right here, we're going to let go of the strap because as we exhale down, I want you to bring your hands to the floor and come down on your forehead. Coming down with your forehead in the ground. Activating that brain, keeping those elbows in. And then pushing off with your hands, slowly, slowly rising up. Bringing the wings out to the side, and then we'll take the left wing down to the left wrist, sending the right arm up. Bringing your thumb and forefinger together, just building that star, that point of light in the sky. Always coming to that sunny side of the street. Gentle back bend, then we'll whip the hands together as we take the right hand behind us. Building that star with the other hand. Bringing both arms up, and then we're going to bring our fists into the floor because we're going to lift our knees. Coming into my favorite position, downward facing dog. And then walking those feet up to the hands. And before you come up, grab that strap because we're going to do this one more time. So grabbing that strap and wrapping your wrists around it anywhere, because as you go into it, you'll know whether you need to lengthen it or shorten it. So starting out initially with the strap in both hands, with the body growing upward, pulling in those bandhas, those gates again, as we inhale in and exhale to the side. Maybe twisting the neck and looking at Mother Earth. Slowly inhaling up, coming up the center, returning to mountain, and then we'll exhale down the other side. So keeping those shoulders back, keeping that heart open. Maybe looking down at the earth. Inhaling back up. Exhaling over, so we're going to raise our arms up a little bit. Inhaling, slowly, slowly coming back up. Exhaling into the feet. And then we're going to inhale and lift the back a little bit as we come into a gentle back bend. So the head is looking at the sky. Inhaling, coming back into our mountain pose. So then we're going to let go of the strap on one side so that we can take the arms up and back and around, because we're coming back down to the earth again. Down, down, down. And as we come back, if you liked folding that mat under your knees, you can do that again. And once you're in a kneeling position, you can decide whether you want to do the low kneel or the high kneel. And putting your hands in your straps. So inhaling, coming into kneeling mountain as we exhale in one side. So pulling those arms back, broadening the chest. Looking down at the floor. Inhaling, looking up, bringing the body up, front and center. Taking a deep inhalation, and then we'll exhale to the other side. So we're really stretching that back arm, looking down at the earth again. And then looking towards the wall in front, inhaling the body up. And then we're going to exhale and come down, bringing the forehead to the earth, so we're activating the brain. And you can raise the arms here a little bit. Doesn't need to be a lot, just a little. Dropping those arms, unwinding your strap so you can bring your hands next to your ears and push yourself up. So now we're strapless. Oh my. Inhaling, raising that left arm and then bringing it behind to the left ankle. So I have my toes curled under and I'm lifting that right arm, building that star, building that shining light. So we're always striving to keep ourselves inspired. Sometimes I write down the things that inspire me each week so I don't forget. Sliding those hands together, passing those shifts as it goes back to the other heel, and building that star with the other hand. Breathing in, breathing out, coming up. We're going to bring the arms into a T because we're going to put them on the back right above the waist so the fingers are pointing down. And we're going to bend that back one more time. Gentle back bend. Coming out of that back bend, bringing the hands to the ground. I like to bring my fists down. Curling our toes under, lifting those knees, and walking those feet towards the hands, and maybe the hands will walk towards the feet as well. And slowly, slowly we'll come up into a standing position. Crossing those hands. Bringing those hands back to that heart place. So just breathing into that heart center a couple of times. And then we're going to come back to the wall so we can leave our strap next to us, not too far away because we're going to be digging into that strap again. So we're coming back to the wall. We're going to do Tula Dandasana. So we'll be standing right next to the wall with your hands on the hips. So the first couple times we do this, we're going to do this with the elbow into the wall. Elbow into the wall. Looking straight ahead. Oh my goodness, it's still windy out there. And then we're going to kick that outside foot forward 3 times. And then we're going to let it go behind us, and we're going to put that big toe, anchoring that toe into the earth. Pulling in those bandhas again, especially the abdominal and the throat. And then we're going to exhale, and we're going to lift that back foot. Doesn't need to be high, just lifting it a little bit. So keeping that throat bandha in, bringing that chin into the throat so it doesn't like lead you. So you want to have a straight line. That extension of the neck should be nice and long. So pulling that chin in, breathing in, breathing out, and feeling that base leg. It's really working. Those muscles are contracting. And on the next inhalation, we'll bring that leg back next to its partner. And we're going to walk away from the wall a little bit, just shake the feet and legs out as we walk in a circle. And come back to the wall on this side. So we're going to find a nice position with the elbow into the wall again. And again, making your mountain nice and strong, lengthening the body. Feeling that wall touching the elbow. And then with that outside foot, we're going to kick it forward 3 times. And then we're going to take it behind us and plant it in the earth as we lean the torso forward. So we can lean the torso forward without lifting the leg initially. And then once we're on an angle, and again, we're pulling in that chin to the throat, nice long neck, then we can lift that back leg. And the foot should be squared, so the foot is bright. Pulling in those bandhas gently. Breathing with the crows. And then on the next breath, bringing the feet together on the earth and walking around and kind of shaking out those feet and legs at the same time. So this time, as we try a Tula Dandasana, we're going to come with the elbow maybe an inch away from the wall. So if you need the wall, it's there, but you can try to see how well you can do this without the wall. And you might bounce back and forth. So coming into mountain pose, anchoring those feet into the earth. Imagine those little roots coming out of the bottom of the feet. And I am on a bump. So then we're going to once again kick that outer foot ahead 3 times. And then sending it behind. And first we're going to move the torso a little bit. So it's on a diagonal, pulling that chin in. And then just lift that back foot an inch. Just an inch. And finding something to hook your gaze to. I have Lizzie here, gazing at Lizzie. And breathe into that point. And if you find yourself going back and forth between the wall and not, that's fine. You're working on it. Breathing in, breathing out. And then bringing those feet together. Probably on the earth and not in midair. So then we'll lift the feet, shake the legs out as we turn in a circle to the other side. So we're equal opportunity employers. And measure up so that you're an inch away from the wall and see how this side does. So here we're going to want to once again shake that outer leg and the outer foot 3 times forward and then take it behind. And then leaning forward with the chest, pulling that chin into the throat, nice long neck. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to lift that back leg just an inch. So if you need to touch that foot back down, it's right there for you. Breathing in, breathing out. This one, of course, is really good for the joints, for activating all the muscles in the leg, as opposed to running, which just uses the same ones over and over. And then bringing that foot next to its partner. And once again, shaking up those legs. So then we're gonna come down to the mat. Coming down. Bringing those soles of the feet together. So when we do this, sometimes these muscles in our inner thigh are, they might talk to us a little bit. So sometimes you can use your elbows and give those legs the maximum stretch if you feel comfortable with that. And or you can put your hands around the feet, under the feet, whatever turtle appeals to you today. Actually rounding the back. So this is one of the poses that's not, we're not going to do the straight back turtle today. Maybe allowing the head to drop forward and swivel it a little, very gently from side to side. Slowly. Giving the neck a rest. Giving the legs a rest. And then pushing the torso upward and crossing the legs. I like to have one foot under each leg. Raising those wings up. And then we'll turn towards the side. We'll bring the opposite hand down to opposite knee. And then the other hand, the leftover hand, will go behind us in the earth. So the twist can be a very dynamic pose. So with this hand on the knee, sometimes I will pull my torso into the twist a little bit more deeply, and then I'll release it. And so I'll time this dance with deep breath. Turning it, pulling the back in, releasing it. Just gently twisting the back. Making sure your body is rising up from the floor to the sky. And that you've got your chin pulled into your neck a little bit. Nice long neck. So we'll do this a few times, raising the wings upward. And then we're going to turn towards the other side, opposite hand, opposite knee. And then we're going to begin that duet again of breathing, pulling the torso a little bit, and then releasing it. And making sure it's not, it should not hurt. So it fails to be stretching if it hurts. So we're going to do this a few more times, just in case you've been overdoing it with the gardening. Smiling and twisting to the side, lifting those wings up and exhaling the wings down. So as I mentioned earlier, there's all kinds of practices in yoga. And so this next one that we're going to do is a practice where on the inhale, you breathe in and you're holding that navel as high into the spine as you can. So you might even fold forward a little bit. So inhaling, growing tall. Exhale, folding that navel and pulling it up as far as you can into the spine. And then letting it go. So we're just holding it for 3 or 4 seconds. Inhaling, exhaling, pulling in that navel and maybe bending forward. Inhaling and coming out. Exhaling, folding forward a bit, and then pulling that navel up to the spine. So there's a hollow there where your tummy used to be. Inhaling and coming up. And we'll do it one more time. Exhaling, pulling that navel in. So this is called Agni Sara Mudra. And it's really good because you're massaging your internal organs by pulling that navel in, creating that hollow in your thorax, and massaging all those muscles in there. So it's really good for digestive problems because you're massaging that stomach. You're massaging that GI tract. And it's very energizing and revitalizing. So do not do it before you go to sleep because it's so energizing. And so this is really good for the digestive system. And it's also good if you have low appetite, if you have lack of appetite, if you have excess weight around the middle, which I have a few pounds there. It's supposed to help with that as well. So next we're going to come into cat-cow. So we're going to come into tabletop. So here we're on hands and knees. Hands and knees. And so we're going to do some cat-cow. So we can do this with the starfish fingers. The fingers are spread wide open, or with a fist. Or you can even curl up your mat like we did for our knees. You can do that for your wrists as well. I know mine really like it. So with the cat-cow, we inhale, and we're pulling that navel up again. So we're massaging those organs again, and then exhaling and coming out. So women in particular have to be careful with cat-cow because sometimes we can really over-tip the pelvis. So just make a gentle belly. And then feel that tailbone scooping under, inhaling. So we're pulling that navel up again. And if you want to push back on your heels, you may. Exhaling and coming up. Inhaling. Exhaling. Activating that navel pull again. As we come up, we're inhaling, creating that valley. Looking a little bit above your hands, exhaling. Rounding the back, inhaling, coming up to the tabletop. A little bit of a valley, but as women, we want to make sure not to do that full pelvic tilt, which is lethal. Exhaling, doming the back. You can even come back on the knees a little bit towards the heels. And then we're going to do it one more time as Paul Horn serenades the wolves. I didn't get to hear any wolves at the sanctuary last Guess it didn't get dark enough. So as we come forward this time, we're going to bring our left knee to our left arm and swing that back. So this is nice for relaxing the back. Bringing that knee home and then sending the other knee back and forward to the elbow. And bringing that knee home. So next we're going to do the sunbird. So we may lift that left arm forward. And once you've got that forward, you're going to lift the opposite leg. And look down at your hand perhaps. Pulling in those abdominal muscles. Holding that balance. Spread those fingers. And then bring the hand down and the leg down. So we're going to try that on the other side as well. Nice straight back. So we're going to lift that right hand first. And then lift that opposite leg. Staring at that base hand. Bringing those alternate limbs up. Breathing in, breathing out. And then bringing that front hand down. Also that back knee. And then we'll do this one more time on each side. So first lifting the arm. And then when you're ready, lift the leg. Alternate leg. We'll do the same size next week. Breathing in, breathing out. Make sure that all the fingers are holding the weight, it's not just the wrist. And then we'll bring that hand down and the knee down. Taking a complete yogic breath before we raise the other hand up. And when you're ready, the opposite leg. Oh, Lizzie is right under my hand. Oh my goodness. Breathing in, breathing out. Bringing that hand in, bringing the leg in. And then coming all the way down to the ground for Cobra. Coming down to the ground and just resting your hands underneath your forehead. Breathing with Mother Earth. Your legs can be together or apart. I usually like mine apart. Having our hands near the ears. And as we inhale and rise up, we're going to raise the hands and the torso. So this is the no hands cobra, which is how they do this pose, of course. And then exhaling slowly back down to the ground. Forehead into the earth, activates the brain. revisit that one more time, inhaling the hands up and the chest up. Be looking down, just as if you're a big dragon in the sky. Spreading those fingers. Breathing in, breathing out, and then slowly coming down. Coming down and melting in the ground. So this time, place your hands by your ears into the earth. And inhaling, sliding those forearms forward. Expanding the chest, so making sure you're not sinking down like this. You want to expand the chest. Rise tall like the cobra. Breathing in. Breathing out. Spread those fingers wide. Breathing in. Breathing out. And then let's slowly escalate her down. So lifting those hands, bringing those arms by your side, burying the forehead in the ground. Breathing with the earth. And then once again, rising up, either placing the hands into the mat or bringing the forearms forward, coming up into cobra, rising once again. So even in cobra, you can bring in those bandhas. You can engage those abdominals. You can engage the throat a little bit. You can engage the pelvic floor. And exhaling slowly down. And this time we'll slide those hands underneath the forehead. And just breathing in, breathing out. Being one with the earth once again. So then we're going to slide those hands once again by the ears and back towards the waist, coming up into a tabletop, walking those knees forward, coming into a cross-legged position once again. And we're going to bring our feet up and our legs up so that they're hip-width apart. And we're going to do some rumbas. So bringing that knee down in the middle, so they should be wide enough so you can bring your knee down. Twisting those hips from side to side. I should correct myself again. This is the Roomba. Not being language correct. And so every time we twist to the side, we lean back on those hands that are behind us. Coming from side to side. Twisting those hip sockets. So while we're here, we're going to put our right ankle on top of our left knee, planting those hands behind us again, and we're going to do this again. So going from side to side. Twisting the hips again. Maybe you'll have a body part that comes to the floor. Maybe you won't. And we're scooting in this pose, if you haven't noticed. And then we'll bring this leg down and maybe scoot back so we don't scoot across the entire room in the yoga class. And then we're going to bring the other leg up. Rest that ankle on that knee and do the same with this side. See how does this feel? So we might go to Alamo Placida Park next week. 40% chance of rain, but we'll see. So I'll keep everybody posted. Twist those hips from side to side. And then we're gonna scoot back with our legs both in front. We're gonna come into a seated position. So the legs are hip width apart again. So in this next position, we can do it with the legs bent or the legs, the knees bent a little bit or straight. And we'll just see how your legs do and see what happens. So we're gonna inhale those wings up. And then we're going to go back on an angle, on a diagonal. Bringing those arms up so that they're parallel to the feet. Bringing the chin into the throat, trying to keep that back straight. Just a little bit. Baba nam, okay, valam. Inhaling. Love is all there is. And now you can come down with your hands, bending your knees, or you can grab that strap again, put it around those feet, and bend forward. So it pulls your torso forward a little bit. Be careful not to overdo it. Pull the chin into your throat so your neck is nice and long and not cannonballing down. Nice long neck. So the neck should be on a diagonal, not falling forward. Breathe in. Breathe out. Coming up into seated mountain. And I'm going to leave my strap right there. I'm going to inhale back up, exhale backwards on an angle with the arms parallel to my legs. Baba nam, okay, valam. Engaging those abdominals, even though it doesn't look like it. Coming up with the arms, and as we go down, if you left your strap there like I did, you can just grab that strap. Now I bend my knees a little bit in this one, just to be truthful. But I wrap the strap around my wrist and pull my torso down. Breathing in, breathing out. Forward bend. And then dropping the strap, and we're going to leave it right there because we're going to do this one more time, lifting the arms up and sinking back on a diagonal, but not collapsing the back, leaving the arms parallel to the legs. Baba nam. Okay, so I'm only doing 3 or 4 seconds. Inhaling back up. Exhaling, dropping those arms down and perhaps grabbing that strap again. So with that strap, you pull your torso forward, but pull that chin in. So we want that nice long neck still. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhaling, coming back up. So now we're gonna put our strap to the side as we fold our legs in a cross-legged position. Inhaling that right knee into the back. So my foot is off the floor. And then stretching it out so my hands are behind the knee. Straightening that leg in front, squaring that foot. Inhaling my knee back into the chest, trying to grow my back long and tall. Exhaling out. Inhaling that knee into my chest, loving it up. Sending it out there. And now on this time, again, we're going to lean to the left with that forearm. Bringing that knee up, and now we're taking it into that posterior plane again. So we're taking that leg behind us, really stretching that quad in front. Lifting that knee off the ground. Breathing in, breathing out. So the chest should be nice and open, the shoulders back. So we're going to leave this leg behind us and walk around so that the front knee is between our two hands. Straightening out that leg behind us so we're coming into pigeon. Sitting up in pigeon. So one leg is straight behind you, one is bent in front. And then we're going to walk those hands out. So walking the hands out in front of you. Relaxing with the hip can either be up or it can be down. So choosing which position is most user-friendly for you today. So sometimes that is dictated by your knee. So it's more knee-friendly to come down on the thigh. And you still get quite a stretch. So we're going to breathe into that stretch for a while. Just taking a moment to be present with the hip. Sending the hip that wish for spaciousness. Walking the hands back towards the knee. Lining up your fingers with that knee. Coming into the pigeon pose. Broad chest. Filling your sail. And then we're going to bring that back leg up. So we've worked this side, now we're going to work the other side. So bending this knee into the chest. Grow the back tall and long. And then swinging it out, hands intertwine below the knee. We flex that leg out and then pull it in. Hug it up. Exhale it out. squaring the foot in again, pressing it out. So getting ready to come down on that other forearm, bending that knee, bringing that leg around. Make sure you're lifting that knee above the ground so the knee is maybe hip width, or hip height, I should say. Stretching that leg. So once again, we're going to leave that leg behind us. Coming around towards the front. We're going to bring one hand on either side of the knee and stretch that other leg out behind us. Spreading the fingers like starfish. Stretching that leg behind us. Maybe coming up on your big toe. Having that big toe buried into the earth. Come up into the pigeon. Raise your sail. Shine your heart. And then walk those hands away, exhaling down. Down into the ground. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing spaciousness into the hip. Just being present with any tightness that might be there. We have to have a plan of how we're going to break up that tightness. As the body ages and grows, there's sometimes some little things we need to add to our daily routine to be kind to those muscles. So wishing kindness and compassion to the hip. And then walking those hands towards the body, lining up the fingers with that front knee. Broadening the chest, taking a big, deep inhalation. And a deep exhalation. So then we're going to come and turn our bodies and move our legs so that we're coming down into Shavasana, laying on the back onto the floor. And if you choose, you can come up with your arms parallel to your legs again, pulling in that core as you come down. Or not, you know, this is the whatever yoga class. So coming down and melting into the earth. Breathing with the earth. Rolling your head from side to side. And maybe exhaling with a deep breath. Just going letting all your troubles fly. And maybe one more time. Again, I'm going to sing Bhavanam Kevalam, which means love is all there is. Bhavanam Kevalam, 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 Bhavanam Namaskar to everyone who's still there. I think we had Zoom snafu. I hope you always walk on the sunny side of the street. Thank you for coming.